What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23-1. Today we're going to be talking about playing games in the state penitentiary, man. And you know how many fights I have seen because people get too playful, man, over chess, spades, pencil wars, pencil fights where you got to try to break the pencil. I'm going to tell you a story about that. But look, I got a bunch of stories about how playing games goes wrong. And also on the streets. Check it out. I'm not going to tell too many street stories. But on the streets, it can go the same way. I also made a video, I think it was my bully video. You let people play with you too much, they're going to start carrying you, man. That's all there is to it. You know, back in the day in high school, people like to play a lot of gay jokes and stuff like that. Man, I never got into that. Or, you know, they like to put your hands on you and stuff like that. You know, just playing around. You know, it's all good. It's all fun. But that stuff I've seen turn into other things, man. People start carrying it and it turns into bullying people. You can't let that stuff slide, especially in the state penitentiary, man. Games can get you freaking hurt in prison. I'm talking about even with your friends. You can be friends with them, close friends with these guys, playing with them all the time, and it'll turn into something very serious. And I'm going to tell you a few stories off the top of my head about playing games in lockup. And the first one, it ain't from prison. It's from juvenile jail. That's right. I'm gonna do a video on juvenile jail. Look, that crap was rough, man. Okay, one of the things that I remember the most about lockup was going to juvie. Them little young bucks are absolutely insane. I'll tell you what, I'll never forget. And it was torture. They make you go to school. They make you sit in class. You know, you don't get to use the phone like you do in jail. All kinds of things. I'm gonna make a video on that, but it's a much harder time doing time as a juvenile, because they really try to break you, you know what I mean? They really try to break you of all your bad ways so that you don't go to prison or jail, which is good, but at the same time, it didn't work for me. But let me go into the first story of how playing games went wrong, and this was over a pencil war. That's right, because they had class in juvenile jail, TDH, Tidewater Detention Home, and they also have juvenile prisons. That was my next step. If I didn't change up while I was a juvenile, I was going to be going to juvenile prison. And that's a whole nother story. Grizzy went there, man. He should tell me some stories about upstate for juveniles. But anyways, this was over a pencil war. I wasn't playing it. I was watching it. And this guy, man, he used to, you know, pencil war is when you hold the pencil like this. And, you know, most people rip off the eraser off the pencil and bend the metal so that it chops through the pencil more. So whoever's pencil breaks first is the loser. You know what I mean? But this guy, man, these two guys, they were playing pencil war. And the guy kept hitting him in the knuckle with the pencil on accident. Or at least everyone, you know, I thought it was on accident. You know, he was saying it was on accident. But this dude's knuckles started bleeding, man. You know what I mean? And then finally the dude hit, and I guess he thought it was on purpose. But dude went to go do it again. Hit the pencil. It didn't hit the pencil, hit his knuckle. And dude, it almost immediately, bah, stabbed him right in the freaking head, right here with his pencil. And the guy that he stabbed, I know to this day, and he still has the lead mark in his forehead. That's, hey, no joke, man. Homeboy still has the lead in his forehead. Now, look, these guys were just the best of friends in that block, man. You know what I mean? They drank milk boxes together and everything. Talked about movies and video games on the regular, and then it turned out this guy just snapped and stabbed dude in the head with a pencil. And that was that. You know what I mean? But that's the very first story that I can remember of when playing games goes wrong in lockup. The next one, man, this is always funny in jail and prison. Okay, the chess table. You would think chess is just a peaceful, easygoing game, and it is. But in prison, they have this thing called touch and move. If you touch the piece, you better freaking move it. And a lot of people, they'll just barely nick the piece, or they'll be going to touch another piece, but they'll hit that piece first. And homeboy will be like, no, you touch that one, you move it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I wasn't trying to touch that one, I just nicked it, bro. That wasn't what I was trying. And that's where all the fights start. Touch and move. I'll tell you what. And the funny thing about this chess stuff, okay, these guys, this story that I'm about to tell you is about two older guys, but I've seen young guys get into fights with the older guys, you know what I mean? You know, pretty much almost senior citizens over this chess stuff, you know what I mean? But this particular story, it was two older guys that were probably in their you know, mid 40s to low 50s. They were older guys, and they were gambling. They gambled all the time on chess and checkers, just them two. They never changed up the bets with anyone else or gambled anyone else. There was always just them two. And they would argue all the time after a game, but everything would go back to normal and they would play the next day. Well, this particular day, they were playing, and you know, when you get to arguing with friends, you kind of argue a little harder than you would with a stranger, because you know your friend ain't going to do nothing. So that's why the carrying someone comes into play. And this old guys, man, they would talk crap to each other all day, knowing that none of them were going to fight. Well, this particular day, they got in a fight. And the funny thing is about these chess games, when people get in a fight, the first thing you freaking hear when someone starts fighting during chess is the pieces. The pieces, the pieces just start bouncing and flying everywhere. You're like, oh, chess fight. You know what I mean? That's the first thing you hear on a chess table when someone's about to fight, because the pieces go flying. And I can't even sit here and explain it. Just think about the little plastic chess pieces flying around. You know what I mean? That is just too funny sometimes. I've heard it, that sound so many times. But, you know, this simple game of chess turned out into a rumble. And, you know, best of friends both went to the hole together. And it is what it is, man. Playing games will get you. Now, this other story, believe it or not, okay, this was about, what was it? I was 18 and I'm 32 now. So this was a long time ago, man. This was the very first prison I ever stepped into. And it wasn't even an official prison. It was called Deep Meadows. And they definitely do not have this stuff there no more. Okay, no more. They don't have it. But when I went there, this place was a receiving, okay, where everyone goes to get classified to go to other prisons. And I've told this in many of my videos. But this one particular place that I went to, and it was crazy because there's so many different levels of inmates in this compound. You got 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s all in one prison. You would think it would be on high security. Like the other receiving I went to was Powhatan. That was on super high security, and it went crazy in there, man. It was a crazy prison. But anyways, this one had a pool table in it. I swear, I lied to you not, man. A lot of y'all are going to say, man, he was in a freaking, you know, sweet place. And I'll tell you what, it was sweet. It was. I mean, it was a little crazy. The first riot I ever experienced there was, it was Richmond, Gants, Tidewater. And those are two areas in the state of Virginia. It wasn't really a riot, but it was more of like, you know, how in Cali you got you know, choose which side you want to roll with in case something like that goes down. You're going to roll with the whites, blacks. Well, this was more of an area location, but I told that story before. But this prison had a pool table, okay, and horseshoes, and weights. This place had so many things that you could kill someone with in it, you know what I mean? But, you know, the pool table was awesome. I was shooting pool all the time, and there's this one guy, man, his name was Tennessee. He was from Tennessee, I'm guessing. But this dude, man, he was awesome at pool. And there was this other guy, a little tiny black dude, man. His name was Pitbull. Okay, he was really good at pool too. And these guys were, you know, they were both really good at pool. Like if you were to gamble them, everyone knew not to gamble them. Both of them. And as soon as they break the cue and break the balls, I'm telling you, man, you probably won't even get but one shot. If you miss that one shot, you're done. They're going to run the whole table. But these two dudes were playing, and they were going back and forth. They had the pool table on lockdown because they were playing a series. And, you know, Pitbull won one, Tennessee won one, Pitbull won another one, Tennessee won another one, and it came down to a tiebreaker. And they were gambling, okay? And they were close, you know, not too close, but they were close only at the pool table. All their friends were different kinds of friends. So anyway, and Tennessee was this tall dude, tall white dude, man. And he looks like an average, you know, looked like someone's dad. You would, if you can picture someone's dad in prison, that's what you would picture. He just looked like a fatherly-like type of guy. But anyways, they were playing pool. And Pitbull, he only got one shot, man. Tennessee ran that table on that last game. You know what I mean? And Tennessee immediately says, yeah, let me get that. Let me get my money, punk. And he slipped up. He said, punk. And Pitbull, bro, when he said punk, Pitbull grabbed the cue ball, or whatever ball, threw that jank at him and completely missed and hit this senior citizen cat right behind him, knocked him clean out, and didn't even hit him in the head. Hit him like in a body, and dude got knocked out. So there you go, man. When playing games goes too far, and not only did Pitbull go to the hole, but old Tennessee went to the hole as well, and homeboy went to medical. So one simple game, playing games, and look, Tennessee tricked up, man. You know what I mean? I could tell after he said that, he knew what time it was. You know what I mean? He didn't mean to say. He just tricked up and said punk. That's one word you do not say in the penitentiary is call another man a punk. That is that's like #1 worst name to call someone, man. Just like out in Cali, you call someone a goof. Yeah, you're going to be getting rolled up. That's right. But homeboy grabbed that freaking pool ball, chucked it, missed, knocked old senior citizen out, man. Body shot. Absolutely insane. And now I know for a fact they do not have horseshoes or pool tables in that prison. And now it's a main compound, so I know they changed that up dramatically. But another time, okay, check it out. Another time people were playing games, okay. This one was pretty crazy. There's this magic trick with a deck of cards. A deck of cards. You just get a deck of cards and you tell a dude to pick a card. He picks a card and puts it back in the deck. And then you pick a card out, you shuffle it up really good so the guy's like, okay, my card's shuffled. And then you say, this is your card. And you place it on the ground. And then he goes, is that your card? And when dude reaches down to pick it up, it ain't a magic trick. You just grab the whole deck, and when he reaches down to pick up the card, you freaking rock him in the back of the head with the whole deck. You know what I mean? Well, this particular time, these two dudes, man, they were kicking all the time, and he did it. He went to go pick up the card, smacked him in the back of the head with the whole deck. As soon as dude came up, he popped him. One quick punch. Bah! And that was the worst thing he could have done. Homeboy put his butt to sleep. That's right, put him straight to sleep. And they were just the best of friends, man. But he got a good little punch in on him. Another time games went sideways was this block in jail. They used to come in every time a new person came in the block, unless it was like some big dude or some cat that was well known within gang affiliations and stuff like that. They picked and choose who to do it to. I was never a part of it. I didn't like it. And, you know, it was just stupid, man. Immature. But a lot of people, you know, 70% of the new people that came in the block, it didn't matter what kind of background or job you had on the streets. It didn't matter if you had kids. It doesn't matter. As soon as you walk in that block, they're going to initiate you into the block by hitting you with shower shoes. You know what I mean? As soon as you come in the block, someone would be in control of trying to take off your shirt, and the other guys would be in there trying to smack you with the shower shoe. And it was all fun and games because as soon as it was done, you know, they would laugh it off like, bro, we're just playing with you, man. Welcome to the block. But at the same time, this incident turned into a full-scale fight. Homeboy didn't like getting hit with the shower shoe. So he started swinging. I'm talking about swinging good. And the guys with the shower shoes just ended up jumping them. Crazy. All over a freaking game. Initiation into the block. Man, people are stupid in jail and prison sometimes. Like, immature, man. And there were some grown men doing it. You know what I mean? Grown men hitting other grown men with shower shoes. Like, come on, man. It's absolutely unbelievable. I'm talking about they would leave welts all over their body from these shower shoes. Shower shoes are pretty heavy, man. At least in the jail that we were in. They were pretty heavy. Once you get one good pop, that thing's going to leave a welt. And they were hitting them about 20 to 30 times. But, yeah. I can only imagine how those guys felt walking into that block for the first time getting rocked with a bunch of freaking shower shoes. Alright, now one more story before I end this video. Check it out. This one's for the nurses, the jail nurses, man. You better be careful what inmate you play games with, okay? Because these inmates get the wrong impression and they're going to try something like what I'm about to tell you on you, okay? Now check it out. I was working in the jail as a trustee for the first time in my life I've ever had a job. One job I've only ever had in the jail and prison system, and it was a trustee because I knew the sergeant from the streets. That's right, I knew him, man. We used to go skating rink and stuff. But anyways, this guy hooked me up, got me a job as a trustee when I couldn't because I had too much time. Or, no, it was violent charges. I had violent charges on my record. Violent people cannot work any kind of jobs unless you go to a higher level prison. It's still hard to get a job even in prison if you got violent charges on your record. Anyways, or escape charges. So this particular day, you know, I was pushing the meal carts, and my homeboy was pushing the juice cart. Okay, he was carrying around the little Tupperware juice and give everyone a cup of juice. And the nurse would follow in front of us all the time, and they would flirt every single day. He drew her pictures. She even came and drew him a picture, brought him a picture, and he hung it up in his cell. And I could tell he would stare at this freaking picture at night like he was in love with this nurse. Okay, he was in love with her. But this particular day, when they both left the block and the trays were served, I was pushing the cart, and he, out of nowhere, man, did the unspeakable. I've never seen anyone do no crazy stuff like this before. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff, but this was crazy all in itself in a different level, okay? Homeboy reaches out and pinches the nurse's butt. That's right. He pinches this freaking girl's butt, and you know, they flirt all day long, man. They just laugh and play, and I swear on everything I love, man, I thought the girl was really feeling him like that too. You know what I mean? I thought they were really going to get married or something when he got out. Well, it turns out this girl changed up on him in an instant. I mean, it wasn't even a nice little nurse no more. He pinched that girl's butt, went straight to the freaking hole, man. He might have went to booking too. She might have pressed charges. I don't know. I never heard from that guy again. The only thing that was heard around the jail was that homeboy was still in the hole when I went to, I either went home. Did I go home from there? Yeah, I went home. I didn't go to prison. I was in there for violation. But I went home knowing that dude was still in the hole, man. And he was going to prison, so I'm sure they probably shipped him off faster and raised his level. He might have even got a charge. Could have been a sexual assault charge, man. You know, don't play games with the nurses, fellas. And nurses don't play games with those inmates because they're going to try you. And you know, it might be even worse than a pinch in the butt. You know what I mean? So be careful out there. Don't be playing those freaking flirtatious games. You're going to get tricked up, homeboy. I'll tell you what. And look, there's, you know, when it comes to nurses, people get all kinds of vibes from these nurses. They will sit there, wait for the nurse to come, and they'll be in their cell with already ready to go. Call them gunners, okay? They'll be sitting there and getting their rocks off right in front of the nurse, okay? And they think that the nurse is so cool with them that they'll try their shot. And some nurses, they allow it. They'll actually stare at them the whole time. But some of these guys, man, they'll get caught up and the nurse will tell on them. And, you know, 3 of those, from what I heard in the jail, is 3 gunning charges, and you're labeled a sex offender. You know what I mean? It might be less than that. I don't know. I never really got into detail about that situation, but I know one thing for sure. You keep getting caught getting your rocks off, especially in front of nurses, you're going to be a sex offender. You're going to be knocking on people's door telling them, hey, I'm a sex offender. And guess what? You're going to have a rough time in the penitentiary. So all those young gunners out there, you better cool your jets. Put that, holster that jammy up in that jank. You know what I mean? Anyways, moral of this story, man, don't play games in the penitentiary or jail. It's going to, sooner or later, it's going to evolve into something else, man. I'll tell you what, you don't want it. You don't want that kind of stuff, man. You don't want to be carried. You don't want to be bullied. Because once you open up that window of playing games, you know, it's open. And it's very hard to stop people from playing games on you once you open that window and allow it to happen. Cut it. Nip it right in the butt as soon as it starts happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah, piece of advice. Don't play games in the state penitentiary. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the links in the description of it. Add me up on all that social media. My artwork on Etsy, custom boards. I'm doing another custom board today. Sold my Chef Death board the other day. I'm about to ship that to Florida. Selling boards like clockwork, man. You know what I mean? Even if it's not listed as something, just message me. I'll make a custom board just for you. You know what I mean? Anything you want on that puppy. Wall art. That's what it is. It is wall art. Surfboard wall art for you to hang. I mean, I can make tables. I made tabletops. You can make outdoor shower panels. It doesn't matter. Anything you want, it can be done on that board. Oh, and Twitch, check it out. Got these games the other day. I started streaming a little bit on Twitch late night, like 11:30, 12 last night. If you want to add me up on Twitch yet, add me up. This is what I started yesterday, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Yeah, this is pretty much where it began. Got this one too, Tomb Raider. Yeah, That's the next one. 20-year celebration. Tomb Raider was Rise of the Tomb Raider. And then I got this for when I get bored. I'm just gonna mess around with this, but I'm not gonna get to this anytime soon, Bloodborne, because by the time I'm done beating these, streaming these and beating them, the new Tomb Raider will be out and Black Ops be out right after. You know, Black Ops 4. So I got a lot of stuff in line for this gaming department in Twitch. Go add me up on that, man. I try to do it. I'm trying to do it every single day. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm gonna get up on it. So until the next time, man, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so now. And I want to thank everyone who's been supporting this channel, man. Salute to every last one of y'all.